You know, if your people come into an environment where people are lackadaisical and disengaged, there's little that you can do to change that. Hey, Emily Evans, thanks for sending your question to Elevate TV. And today I'm going to answer yours. I know you inquired about how to hold a volunteer army accountable to the expectations that you've set forth. And I think that this is probably one of the great challenges that leaders face in our type of business model. You know, influence is everything. Getting people to do the things we want them to do because they want to do it, right? And that takes generosity, that takes kindness, that takes demonstration, all the things that really can make a difference in building that relationship and rapport. You know, oftentimes people wonder, is it more important to be respected for what they know or liked for who they are? And I think that that what you should ultimately strive for is reverence. And reverence is a combination of really being respected, liked, and more importantly, loved, revered. And this reverence is going to lead to you being able to ask. And I think that that's really the key. The first step of this is to get the person who's joining your vision and joining your organization, that person you're coaching, to get them to establish what it is that they want to achieve. Once you know what they want to achieve, building the plan for them to get there is relatively easy. We understand it's going to be one of four different things that you're going to have to really touch upon. The first thing is maybe they got to work a little bit harder, and you're going to have to tell them they need to work a little bit harder. But when you do, it won't fall on deaf ears because you're asking them to achieve their objectives. And when you identify, hey, you left at 3 and you got here at 10. And that's career suicide, it's an opportunity for you to be able to pull them back in and help hold them accountable to the goals that they set forth for you. Once you've identified their goals and objectives, holding them accountable to those goals and objectives is actually going to be what's, changes from management to coaching. And I think that this is a big chasm to traverse when you're trying to really get people to maximize their potential. When they see you as somebody who's trying to help them reach their goals and objectives, no longer will they be resistant. I think that really it comes down to helping them create a plan that meets that vision. You understand exactly what your business is. You understand how many, for example, how many appointments need to be set, how much effort it's going to take to get enough meetings in order to accomplish those objectives. And then holding them accountable to those goals is no different than a personal trainer who holds somebody accountable to an X amount of cardiovascular. And I think that in our business, the cardio is telemarketing, canvassing, or networking, right? The second thing you got to do is you got to take that person in the weight room, show them how to do the exercise. So, accountability without demonstration doesn't really generate a whole lot of results. I think that they gotta know that you can before they know that you care. And once they've seen you do the exercise, now when they try to do that exercise, you've got to be there to spot them. You got to be there to hold them, to make sure that they don't hurt themselves in the process. And then if you take in addition to that, you get to the place where you've transferred skill set, you've transferred responsibility, you've created an expectation, then you really have to manage the accountability. Make sure they're checking in, make sure they're weighing in on a regular basis, so that you can acknowledge the progress or lack thereof that they're making towards reaching their objectives. Certainly there are a variety of other things that contribute to this, like environment. Having an environment conducive to success is extremely important. Making sure that they have an accountability partner. Rarely does anybody train for a triathlon or a marathon by themselves. And so if you can orchestrate their success by teaming them up with somebody else, make sure it's not somebody who is a vortex that's going to drag them down. But if you can do that, ultimately, you're going to have a much greater chance of having that person succeed. Emily, I hope this answers your question. Keep the questions coming. AH Michaels at Twitter. Thanks.